To the east, the Tang Dynasty of China, a golden age of art, wealth, and professional armies expanding deep into the western regions. To the west, the Abbasid Caliphate, the rising Islamic superpower carrying a holy war across borders. Neither empire knew the other truly existed in full until their borders collided on the banks of the Talas River in modern-day Kazakhstan. It was a clash of titans, but the fate of Asia wouldn't be decided by the emperors or the caliphs. It would be decided by the masters of the Steppe and a brutal act of betrayal. Welcome to Steppe Legends. Today, we uncover the true story of the Battle of Talas, the forgotten war that changed the course of human history forever. To understand how this collision happened, we must look at the prize they were fighting for: control over the Silk Road, the wealthiest trade network on Earth. For centuries, Central Asia was a chessboard of nomadic tribes, oasis kingdoms, and local rulers. But by the 8th century, the geopolitical landscape was shifting. The Tang Dynasty of China wanted total dominance over the region, which they called the Western regions. Under the command of an ambitious, ruthless, Korean-born Chinese general named Gao Shanji, the Tang army pushed deep into Transoxiana. Gao was brilliant, but he was arrogant. He destroyed local cities, executed local rulers who refused to pay taxes, and forced the regional kingdoms to look for a protector. And they found one. To the west, the Abbasid Caliphate had just overthrown the Umayyads. They were aggressive, unified, and looked to expand their faith and their trade routes to the edge of the known world. When the local ruler of Tashkent was executed by the Chinese, his son fled to the Arabs, begging for aid. The Caliphate sent their finest general in the east, Ziyad ibn Salih. The stage was set. The two greatest superpowers of the medieval world were now on a direct collision course. In July 751, the two armies met near the city of Atlach on the banks of the Talas River. The numbers were staggering. Historians estimate that combined, over 100,000 men stood in the valley. The Chinese brought their highly disciplined infantry, armed with deadly crossbows that could pierce armor from hundreds of yards away, supported by mercenary nomadic horsemen. The Arabs brought their legendary heavy cavalry, fueled by religious fervor and elite tactical training. For 4 long days, the armies smashed into each other. The river turned red with blood. Gao Shanji's crossbowmen kept the Arabs at bay, while the Abbasid cavalry repeatedly charged the Chinese lines, trying to break their heavy shields. Neither side could gain the upper hand. It was a brutal stalemate. The soldiers were exhausted, the heat was suffocating, and the tension was absolute. But on the 5th day, the stalemate was broken, not by a brilliant tactical move, but by a knife in the back. In the middle of the Tang army fought the Karluk Turks, a powerful nomadic tribal confederation of the Steppe. They had allied with the Chinese for political protection, but as the battle dragged on into the 5th day, the Karluks made a chilling calculation. They realized that if China won, the Tang dynasty would permanently subjugate their lands, but if the Arabs won, the balance of power would shift, leaving the nomads free. In the heat of the battle, the Karluks turned. They charged forward, not at the Arabs, but directly into the rear of their own allies, the Chinese. The shock was catastrophic. The Karluks butchered the Chinese crossbowmen from behind, while the Abbasid cavalry launched a massive frontal assault at the exact same moment. The Tang army was caught in a vice. The disciplined Chinese lines collapsed into absolute chaos. General Gao Shanji barely escaped with his life, cutting his way through his own fleeing soldiers just to find a horse. Out of tens of thousands of Chinese troops, only a fraction made it back across the mountains to China. The rest were slaughtered or captured. The Battle of Talas was the first and last time Chinese and Arab armies ever fought each other, but its impact on human civilization is impossible to overstate. First, it set the permanent borders of religions and cultures. The Chinese expansion into Central Asia was stopped forever. The region became, and remains to this day, deeply integrated into the Islamic world. But the second consequence changed the world you live in right now. Among the Chinese prisoners captured by the Arabs at Talas were skilled artisans, and they possessed a secret that China had guarded jealously for thousands of years: the secret of papermaking. The Arabs took these prisoners to Samarkand, where the first paper mills outside of China were built. From Samarkand, paper production spread to Baghdad, then to Europe, triggering the Renaissance and the global explosion of knowledge, science, and literature. Without the betrayal at the Talas River, the modern world might look entirely different. A single decision by a steppe tribe changed the destiny of two empires and the history of mankind. What do you think? Was the Karluk betrayal justified, or a fatal mistake for the region? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Steppe Legends. Until next time, keep exploring the hidden truths of the past.